I'm a real estate agent in Louisville, Kentucky. I work for Weichert Realtors, and I also like to flip houses with my own company called FIippin Realty. I have a lot of help, of course, but I like to try to do projects on my own when I can, especially when they're at my own house. So today, I'm going to show you how to restore your old double hung windows, like the ones behind me. If your windows are really old like mine, they might have broken ropes, which means they don't stay open and they come crashing down when you try to open them. Or they might have cracked panes, or they could be painted shut altogether. It's important to restore your windows because A, it makes your house nicer, and B, if you ever want to sell your house, several types of loans require that you not have any broken panes and that all your windows open and close properly. So first, I'm going to tell you what you need so you can gather all your stuff before you start. You're definitely going to need a screwdriver and a hammer or some sort of pry thing so that you can take your windows apart very carefully. And you're also going to need, if you have broken ropes, some new rope, which you can get at any hardware store, regular braided rope, preferably about the same size as the rope in your old existing windows. And some tape to tape the ends of your rope when you cut it so that it feeds through easier. And if you have cracked panes that you're going to replace, you're going to need some window glazing, which you can also get anywhere, Home Depot, Lowe's, or your local hardware store. And if your windows are painted like mine, you're going to need some trim paint. I like to get my trim paint at Sherwin-Williams. This is the best trim paint that you can buy. It's expensive, but well worth it. And if you have a shop vac, you better get that out too because you're going to make a mess. So the very first step is you need to remove any window treatments that you have on your windows because you're going to need to have full access. So I'm going to take these down in a minute. And you can see my one cracked pane that I'm going to be replacing. And this window doesn't have any ropes. They probably broke a long time ago. So my window opens, but it doesn't stay open. And in this window, you can see that my ropes are broken and you can see the old rope. So we're going to take these all apart first by removing this window stop so we can get the sashes out and take out the old ropes and weights. So once you get your window treatments taken out, so carefully pry them off. And if you have giant spiders in your window, try not to be scared. Then, once you've got your window stops out, you can remove your bottom sash. So here's the bottom part of my window, and mine needs some repair and definitely to be washed and a paint job. So I'm going to take it outside. And my top one seems to be painted in, so now I got to go get my razor blade. Then, once you get the inner stop out, which sometimes isn't easy, you can hopefully get out the top sash of your window. And you might need to use a razor blade if it's painted shut. Oh, and this one is still attached to the weights. Awesome. Which is actually a good thing. Except we need to replace the glass. So we're going to take it off for now. Now I'm going to put everything on plastic so I don't get paint chips everywhere. and I'm going to scrape off the old window glazing so that I can get this broken pane of glass out. Well, I scraped off all the glazing and got out the broken pane of glass. So now I'm going to go to the hardware store and ask him to cut me a piece to fit this area right here. Hi, I'm back. I had to take a little break to take care of my kids, and I needed to pick up my glass from the hardware store. I got this piece here that had to be cut at an angle, and it cost me $20. And then I just put it in the opening, and you hold it in with these tiny window clips, which you can buy at Home Depot. They look like this, and the point just goes into the wood. You can push it in with a screwdriver, and it holds the pane of glass in a little bit, and then you put your glazing over top of it. Just one or two on each side is enough. I already put in the ones on the other. And I also had to buy a new glazing compound because mine was all dried up. This cost $8 at Home Depot. And it needs to be, it can't be dried up, and it needs to be kind of warm to work best. So, it's pretty much like Play-Doh. You just scoop a little out. And roll it into like a snake, and press it down hard on the edge of your glass and your window frame. And you do this all the way around. And next I'm going to show you how to clean it up. Then, once you have your glazing compound pushed in all around the edges, you take your putty knife or whatever tool you're using to push down really hard, and then you can wipe off the excess. And we'll do this around all the edges. And then when it dries, it's gonna hold the window pane in, and you can paint it. And I'm gonna do this other one too, because when I took it out, the old glazing was chipping out everywhere, you can see, and the pane of glass was barely held in there, which is often the case with old windows. So the next thing that we have to do is try to find the weights for the bottom sash. The ones for the top were still attached, and they're attached to this rope, but there will be some hidden in here somewhere that we have to find to put new ropes on. So there's usually a pocket that they're hidden in, and I see the rope in there, but I'm afraid I'm gonna break something. So you have to be careful. Here we go. Yes. So here it is. Oh, it's the one for the other window too. Awesome. This one goes with our bottom sash. So we need to replace this rope. Okay, now that I got my glass fixed and my sashes painted, and I located my weights in the weight pocket, I can put the window back together. So first, I'm going to hang the top sash back where it was. And since it already had a rope attached, I'm just going to secure these knots back into the little and perfect. And as you can see, all 4 weights are in here. So I was able to feed the string through the rope through this side so that I don't have to bust open this side and tie it onto the weight down here. So now I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom sash. So I put a piece of tape on my rope and I'm just going to feed it in there. There it is. And now I'm going to just tie a knot in here to hold it. Okay, so now I'm going to put my weight back in the pocket. And I can cut my string so it's long enough to fit into the bottom window. And then I can put these holes back together and put my bottom sash in. Okay, so now the next tricky thing is to make sure that I cut my rope the right length, because I want the weights to be able to hold it up. So I want my knot to be right here, about right there. So I'm going to tie my knot right here, and then I'm going to cut the rope. And I'm probably going to nail it in there like the other one. And then I'm going to make the other side the same. So now I'm going to attach them in to the little groove. The other side. Gotta make sure my nail's not gonna stick out and rub the edge of the window frame. Then I should be able to get it in here. There we go. Woo! And there we go. Now I just gotta put my stops back on and paint them. And I'll have a good as new window. It was really a lot of work, but it only cost me $20 for the glass and $8 for my window glazing, and it would be several $100s to have a nice replacement window installed in here.